The Brothers Karamazov is a novel by Fyodor Dostoevsky that explores various philosophical ideas, human relationships, and the concept of religion. The book is divided into 12 parts and is considered to be Dostoevsky's greatest masterpiece, with complex characters that are some of the most developed and interesting figures in the literary canon. The main characters in the Brothers Karamazov are the three brothers, Dmitry, Ivan, and Alexei Karamazov, and their father, Fyodor Karamazov. Dmitry is the eldest of the three brothers, and he is portrayed as a passionate and impulsive man. He has a volatile personality and is prone to physical outbursts, making him appear somewhat of an anti-hero. Dmitry is constantly at odds with his father, Fyodor Karamazov, due to their differences in personality and lifestyle. Ivan Karamazov is the middle brother, and he is depicted as a cynical and disillusioned writer. Ivan is an intellectual who is deeply troubled by the injustice in the world, especially as it relates to the suffering of innocent children. He famously says, "If God doesn't exist, then everything is permissible," which captures his nihilistic worldview. Ivan is also prone to mental instability and suffers from hallucinations and delusions. Alexei Karamazov, or Alyosha, is the youngest brother and is the moral center of the novel. Alyosha is a devoutly religious person who admires and tries to emulate his mentor, Father Zosima. Alexei is the embodiment of the novel's religious themes and represents the struggle between faith and doubt. Fyodor Karamazov is the father of the three brothers, and he is a loathsome and detestable character. He is an alcoholic, a lecherous man, and a negligent father. Fyodor Karamazov is a symbol of the moral decay and corruption that plagues the society in which the novel is set. The Brothers Karamazov is a philosophical novel that explores various themes about the human condition. One of the main themes of the novel is the struggle between faith and doubt. The characters in the novel grapple with their doubts about God and the meaning of life. Ivan Karamazov, in particular, struggles with the concept of evil, which he sees as proof that God does not exist. Another theme in the novel is the concept of free will. The novel explores the idea that individuals are responsible for their actions and that they must take responsibility for the consequences of their choices. Dmitry Karamazov is an example of a character who is constantly struggling to control his emotions and impulses, which ultimately lead to his downfall. The novel also touches upon the idea of moral relativism. One example of this is the character of Smerdyakov, Fyodor Karamazov's illegitimate son. Smerdyakov is portrayed as a villain who uses his intelligence to manipulate those around him. However, the novel also explores the idea that Smerdyakov's actions may be justified if one believes in the concept of revenge and retribution. This idea is explored in the famous chapter, The Grand Inquisitor, where Ivan Karamazov presents a parable about Jesus returning to Earth during the Spanish Inquisition. The Brothers Karamazov is a complex and layered novel that explores various philosophical themes and human relationships. Through its characters, the novel delves into the struggle between faith and doubt, the concept of free will, and the idea of moral relativism. The Karamazov brothers and their father are all examples of flawed and imperfect characters who struggle to reconcile their desires and beliefs with the realities of the world around them. Ultimately, the novel poses difficult questions about the nature of humanity and the search for meaning in life. After describing the analysis of the characters and the general philosophy of the book, let's move on to my area of interest. This section contains spoilers. If you haven't read the book, you can stop the video here. When I started reading The Brothers Karamazov, I must confess that I found it very boring. Russian literature had to describe everything in detail due to the conditions of the time the book was written. Therefore, I can say that it was boring. However, when I read the development section, the events engulf you and make you curious. I must admit that I really liked the character Ivan and agreed with his lines. Until the conclusion, that is. Because Ivan is a conscientious person who takes questioning God too seriously. Although he seems like a non-believer, I did not interpret him that way. We are talking about 4 children traumatized by their father. Smerdyakov, who works as a servant, loves to listen to Ivan. Although he seems like a sly, cunning person who bargains, I interpret that his character has deviated in the wrong direction due to the trauma he experienced. In conclusion, yes, Smerdyakov is the murderer. He did not leave Ivan's conscience at ease and drove him mad. Dmitri is in exile. Alyosha goes with him and serves humanity as a priest. In fact, I will take each philosophy topic in this book separately and prepare a detailed video. So, don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support me, as my views are very low.